And welcome to the David Tomsic Show, fighting tyranny one day at a time. It's February 7th, 2025. We have a great show, and you can't make this stuff up. Christianity in decline, the dangers of political Christianity in America today. Now, let's first start out with this. All those churches you see on street corners across America, and there's a lot of them, and all those denominations, that does not comprise the Church of Jesus Christ. Those are man-made constructs, man-made structures, buildings, pews, sound systems, parking lots, you name it, that's all man-made. The Church of Jesus Christ are those people that truly believe in their hearts that Jesus Christ rose from the dead and sits at the right hand of Father. He is living. He is the all-powerful God of all things, the Creator. Having said that, having got that out of the way, you now have to deal with these constructs and all the things that they get themselves into. Jesus told us that there would be a falling away, a great falling away from the church, from Him. And this can take on many forms, I'm sure. Now, there's a lot of controversy over this. I'm not a Bible scholar. I'm not a pastor. But I have common sense and a pretty good brain. And I think the scriptures are very clear. Jesus knew that people would decide to create their own religions, their own doctrines, based on their own desires. 2 Thessalonians 2:3, Paul writes, "Let no one deceive you by any means, for there shall come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." Now that's the Antichrist. We're not there. The Antichrist spirit, I believe, is already here on the earth. And I believe this falling away is present tense. It's happening now, and it has been happening. For how long? I don't know. Those that want to talk about future events, you can talk about future events. I'm talking about right now. This is a preparation thing. Jesus knew this was going to happen, and Paul explained that. Now, Matthew 24:10-13 goes on and says, "And then many will fall away and betray one another and hate one another. And many false prophets will arise and lead many astray. And because lawlessness will be increased, the love of many will grow cold." I have talked about this for a while, and I'm being condemned by many people who are Christians. You see, they want me to condemn everybody else in the world and just follow that it's okay to hate everybody and to go after everybody because they're all bad. Illegal is used quite a bit, the word illegal. Illegal. Well, again, judgment comes when one finger points at somebody else and the other three point at you. So guess what? I'm reading the words of Jesus. Now let's talk about that. Let's go back to the whole situation with Bishop Mariann Budde. Hated by some, loved by others. Now, if you remember, she did basically the inauguration service for President Trump. And her message was clear. She pled for mercy for immigrants, for all those that are in fear of what's happening right now. She was condemned because the Episcopal Church has contracts or had contracts with the federal government to deal with immigrants, one form or another. A lot of money is involved over time. They were one of the smaller ones. I made note yesterday that the Catholics were number one in being involved with the government and helping do these immigration services, okay? So they're not even at the top 10, but I digress. I only mention this to get you up to speed. None of that really matters to me, nor should it. But to many, it's the biggest, most important thing. The problem is people don't realize that many of these churches have a passion for these people. It isn't just money. We always want to make it about money, except when it has to do with the billionaires running our country today. It's not about money for them, but it is for this Episcopal Church and this bishop who preached the message of mercy. Of course, many still dislike her. Many hate her for this. Many of these people consider themselves Christians. Where does the line drawn here? Well, I get the feeling that most people don't have a clue where the line's drawn. As a Christian, and for her as a Christian minister, her job is to preach the gospel message of Jesus. That message was right on. It was out of the red word section of the Bible. Many people don't like that. They rather go into the Old Testament for judgment sections, for illegal stuff, because everything's illegal. Listen, Jesus never used the word illegal. And he wouldn't use the word illegal today to these people. His message would still be the same. Whatever's happening, your job is to still love and reach out to these people. We don't have that. I'll go on and I'll explain. See, a new Christianity has emerged. It doesn't sound like the original Gospels, and it's not. It has emerged, and I call it the doctrine of political Christianity. That's right. Sound interesting, doesn't it? And here is what their foundation is built on. Greed. There's not enough for us to give to somebody else. Hatred. We don't like them because they don't belong here. They don't believe what we believe. Their color's different. They don't speak our language. They're here illegally. Jealousy. They're getting something we're not. Selfishness. We want it all. The rest of the world, 97% of the rest of the world doesn't count. Only Americans count. And privilege. We're privileged because, see, God placed this country here. And we deserve everything we get. We deserve to be number one. Now, the problem is, this was a scattered doctrine. People believed it in coffee shops, pointing at people, talking about people. Christians that I know, Christians that claim to be born again, hate these other people. They hate LGBTQ. They hate immigrants. They hate anybody that's not like them. And they'll find a way to destroy them, find a way to make them look bad. And because this group was so fractured, they were looking for a leader. They were looking for a strong man, for someone that can take the reins, someone they can quasi-say is a Christian, someone that can start punishing people that deserve it, bringing back the Christian way of life in America. Well, that man was Donald Trump. And of course, many believe he is the Messiah for the United States, that he was handpicked by God somehow. Now, this is definitely fallacy, but I cannot explain that to everybody who listens because I will get blasted, which I have been, blasted on Facebook and blasted in comments, blasted on my email, but that's okay. The words of Jesus do not change. What has changed is their opinion of how the world really works, their opinion of how Jesus wants us to react and live in America today, not as a privileged sect, but as someone who reaches out to be his hands and feet in this country. It seems that more and more people are being deceived by false prophets. Instead of hearing the gospel message as it really is, they hear from political Christians who condemn them, causing fear into the communities that need Christ most. Yet the true voice of Jesus still whispers into the hearts of his followers, the message of love, forgiveness, and mercy. In the end, God's reign is supreme, and his will be done, even as the false prophets and political Christians watch in horror as their gods crumble before them. It's all the time I have. God bless you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and please join the revolution against tyranny. Write that in our comments section that you join and you're with us. God bless you, and I'll see you next time right here on the David Tomsic Show.